Hello, hello, hello. We should be live. Hi there, chat.
Hello and welcome to NoCB, a grand strategy podcast. This is for the 31st of March, which feels like the 82nd of March, 2021. Time no longer has any meaning. I'm your host, Liana. We are here with our very cool panel, including Rose.
Hi there.
And including Lambert.
Hello there.
And from what I understand, it seems like Father Lorris was just like eating spoiled meat with his hands out of a bucket or something, and he's not feeling too well. So
Don't be rude. He was having the Welsh delicacy. The Scots have haggis.
Yeah.
The Welsh have questionable mincemeat.
That's just mince is just like ground beef, right? That's generally what it
that's-
refers to. Okay, yeah. But
Isn't it like
yeah.
We call it minced and you call it ground. So it's the
Yeah,
same.
Oh,
gotcha.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but yeah, I didn't know if it in Wales if they put horse meat in there or something.
Well, I mean, it depends if you go to Tesco or not.
Yeah.
Tesco got caught for putting horse meat in.
Oh, did they
mince,
really?
Maybe back in like 2008.
Actually happened.
Yeah, no, it actually happened. It was a big scandal in the UK.
Oh, no.
I'm fairly sure it was Tesco. Might have been Asda.
Yeah.
One of the two.
This
But yeah, it was a big
Princessity,
scandal.
Princessity points out ground meat always sounded disgusting to me. Why would you eat meat off the ground? Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, it's because it's
a good
ground up. It's the verb.
Yeah.
Diego says they had the same scandal in France. I can't accept that. How could it be a scandal to eat horses when you willingly and enthusiastically eat frogs and fucking snails? I'm sorry, you've got no leg to stand on.
Speaking of that, there's someone in my Discord that posts pictures of frogs because he has pet frogs. And
And she goes like, ooh, tasty.
Yes, Dugao does that. Our resident Frenchman goes, ooh, this looks delicious. And then he posted the image of just raw frog legs on a plate still twitching.
That's yeah. I've never had frog legs. I don't know. I tend to say I'd try any food once. There might be some exceptions, but generally I'll try it. I'll at least try it.
I probably wouldn't try snail. I might try. I'd try horse. I'd try horse, no problem.
I've tried silkworm.
Silkworm,
Yeah,
interesting.
In Korea, it was what they would eat while drinking. It's not so popular with young people now, but you can still find it for sale, and you buy it in little tins, too.
Yeah, I've always thought it was weird that we're so like icky about bugs in the Western world, because crabs and lobsters are just giant bugs that live in the ocean. Like,
But they're
not even just.
It's because insects have not evolved into crab enough.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
insects evolve into crab,
As
then
all
we'll be okay.
things eventually will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a little bit of humankind news for the first time in a while this week. They announced that the game is being delayed to August 17th. Sounds like mainly to integrate more feedback from the community in betas and open dev and stuff like that. I think I've said before, I'm generally for delays, of this kind especially. If the community felt like and their betas felt like it wasn't quite there yet, I'm glad they're taking some extra time to polish it up. Yeah.
Definitely.
All of these like estimated release dates and stuff, they would have had these times in their mind pre-COVID, and COVID threw everything out of whack.
Right.
So, there was no telling how much they were impacted by it.
Yeah, I'm curious how many games were supposed to be announced or released last year that now we won't hear about until this year or later. Yeah.
We do have Cat of Nine Tails from Humankind coming into chat saying a bit of extra info
nice.
that was not on the blog because our studio head announced it after the blog. Goal for next open dev is sometime around the previous release date. So
cool.
April.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think I heard something about someone in my stream chat on Sunday was talking about they're adding more content for the Neolithic and stuff, which would be pretty cool.
And
I think
are the Huns getting nerfed?
Yeah, that's the classic problem with step horse archer hordes in any strategy game is that if you present them with historical accuracy, they're gonna be super overpowered.
Yes.
And the way that there's like two ways of fixing that, which is just to nerf the units or to make them super expensive. And I've seen strategy games do it either way. But yeah. So Forza 84 saying Humankind is by far the non-paradox game I look forward to most. I'd say it's in the top 5 for me, for sure. Definitely looking forward to getting my hands on that one.
Well, we
Again,
some other news from Total War.
Right. So they mentioned they're releasing a remastered version of the original Rome, which I think for a lot of people is still like their favorite Total War game.
I mean, it's the one that I have the most nostalgia for.
Right.
For sure.
And they're adding I think they're adding a bunch of new factions. Not like
no, there's no
completely new, but they're adding ones that weren't previously playable are now going to be playable.
But unfortunately, there's no extra units, so things like for example, Thrace was not playable in the original.
Right.
And they have 4 units. You can play as them now, but they still only have 4 units.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm not sure that's the best.
That's not quite as exciting as I thought. Then.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, you could always play as those factions in the original with mods. Like the original Total War Rome was very, very moddable. And speaking of that, this remaster's also got workshop support, so we could see
that's cool.
A lot of stuff for it.
That's cool. One of my major criticisms with modern Total War is that it's not fully moddable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The trailer does look like a movie trailer.
I would say that Barbarian Invasion still holds up pretty well. Thinking back on it, and this is going to come with Barbarian Invasion expansion, as far as I know, and the Alexander expansion. I just don't really know with how much modern Total War we have. I don't know if I'm excited to go back and play the original Rome again. It was a very, very good game for the time. I just don't know what itch it necessarily scratches that I couldn't get from one of the other Total War games that I have in my library. I
think with Total War, when a mechanic isn't working very well, or if it's slightly broken, or if it's exploitable, Creative Assembly has a habit of just removing that mechanic entirely rather than fixing it for the next game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of mechanics that are in the original Rome Total War that are completely missing in the newer games. Things like population. There's no population in Rome 2, for example, but there is in original Rome. And I'm looking forward to getting back into Rome to see those mechanics that I've missed playing with.
Okay, yeah.
Makes sense.
And I do think...
no naval battles, though.
Oh, yeah. I do think it was a better. Yeah, I do think it was a better game than Rome 2 was, especially the launch version Rome 2.
Launch version Rome 2 is just
but Windows Minesweeper is a better game than the launch version of Rome 2. What I asked myself, would I rather play Rome 1 Barbarian Invasion or would I rather play Attila? I'd kind of rather play Attila. It's cool. It's cool. I just don't know that I'll spend a lot of time with it.
I'll definitely give it a run through.
Mm-hmm.
But with regards to Attila, that game runs like absolute arse, so I'm not going back to Attila.
Well, I have a PC now that exceeds the recommended specs on it by so much that it's not too much of an issue. But
what I really do hope, though, is that they take this remastering philosophy and they go further with it. I want to see Medieval 2 remastered. And I want to see that game be so popular that they're like, ooh, we should probably make another one. Empire was a buggy pile of absolute garbage, but it's interesting as fuck.
And
Lambert, we have
I want to see that
chat
remastered.
saying they want no pops because pops are annoying.
ban this man.
Okay, yeah, where's the
Time out.
Mods?
Hey.
Mods?
Delete message. Excommunicate. Burn for heresy.
We need to get just an excommunicate button where it doesn't stop you from talking, it just labels you as a heretic.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
We definitely need to add another emote called excommunicate.
Well, we
that
have to
would
add
be great.
an emote to begin with.
True.
This is the Valorcane. That's very true. It's that's saying you don't like pops in the NoCB chat is kind of like walking into a biker bar and being like, hey, I don't like motorcycles. Everybody gets up and looks at you, and people start cracking their knuckles and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like me being in Finland and saying, no, I would not like a coffee. Thank you very much.
Alfred, no, every game should have
players.
pops.
Yeah,
Tetris should have pops.
Same.
I mean, The Sims has pops.
True. They're
Pops
very
or
small
just full
pops.
population, like a number of people.
Yes, I mean Victoria 2 pops are the best pops because they have dynamic size
Naturally.
with basically infinite granularity. So,
Naturally.
yeah. So,
Just a population system. These are the things that we stand in this podcast.
yeah,
We stand a population system.
CK3 should even have pops,
No, it
which
shouldn't. CK3 has individual characters. Let's not have pops in there too.
I would say
Because-
population, not pops. I would like to know how many people live in each place and how many people I slaughter.
No, see, I could see that, but that's kind of tied to, I guess, the development or the control of a place.
it is, but
population is better than development.
development doesn't let you have religious and ethnic minorities. So CK, if they're not going to have pops, they should add a way to have religious and ethnic minorities.
That would
yeah,
be cool.
exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe it would be easier to convert a county if it already had a minority of that religion.
Right.
Culture.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea.
Just a scaling amount of control based on how many of the people in that province, believe in your particular version of Jesus.
Yeah, but I would see it more as a percentage would be better in my opinion. Because again, you start throwing pops into CK3 and it encourages people to play more min-maxy when it's a role-playing game. And then people try and play min-max and then they get angry because they get bored of the game because it's not a min-max game.
Yeah.
Maybe, but we still want population.
Just some way to model minorities. Whatever.
Yeah.
But that's why I
CK3 team. Yeah, whatever you want to do to model minorities and diaspora, that whatever you want to do that will add that to the game, I would be pretty happy with.
Yes. This is about to be Rosebud's mouse. I just ordered a second one that'll arrive tomorrow. So next week I'll have mine and he'll have his because he's not interested in this one. He's not interested in this one. There's 3 mice and he wants the only one that's actually connected to my computer.
Well, it's the one you're using, so clearly that's the best one. So
Naturally. So speaking of Rome remaster, what games would you like to see get a remaster?
Ooh, so Pharaoh and Cleopatra is actually getting a remaster, which is something I would want to see remastered.
Oh, really? Okay.
I had approach me, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Victoria 2 remaster, you can call it Victoria 3.
Yeah. Victoria 2.5 HD remix Dream Drop Distance.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there and say Empire Earth. I want an Empire Earth remaster on the same level of quality as Age of Empires 2 got. Empire Earth is phenomenal.
Empire Earth was very good. They completely ruined the franchise. Was it 3? Was the one that was like...
Don't know, there's only one.
They turned it into a baby game or something? I vaguely remember this. Because I think it was the first 2 were good, and then the third one was terrible, if I'm remembering right. I was going to say Age of Mythology. Like, they've done Age of Empires Definitive Edition. They've done Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. They did Age of Mythology Extended Edition, but that was more like the HD remakes they did for Age 1 and Age 2 than it was like the extended editions, or than it was like the definitive editions. So I would like to see Age of Mythology Definitive Edition fully updated with like, you know, ultra widescreen, 4K, modern graphics and shaders and stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that. I'm very much down for that.
Yeah.
And I think if they follow on from in the same vein as how they did Age of Empires 2, I mean, they added new factions with the AoE 2 remaster. They could add new factions in Age of Mythology as well, and you know, adding in other mythologies, because it is kind of Eurocentric as it is right now, and they could. There's plenty of scope for getting more cultures in there.
The extended edition, they did add the Chinese, which was cool.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that one.
Yeah, but they could add. Yeah, there's so many possibilities. They could add an Indian mythology one.
Yeah.
They could add, you know, Persian mythology. There's tons of possibilities.
Yeah, for sure.
Dawn of War, that's another good one. I'd play Dawn of War and Dawn of War 2 remastered. That would roll.
Here's the controversial one then. Which one's better, 1 or 2? Let's not even consider 3 is in the running. Let's be honest.
I like them both, but I personally prefer Dawn of War 2 because I like the smaller squad-based combat. Yeah,
it feels more 40k to me.
Yep, yeah. Because if you actually read like 40k lore, it's like, yeah, it takes like one squad of Space Marines to subdue an entire planet, and like that's how Dawn of War 2 felt. It's like, we're just gonna drop these 5 dudes down here, and they're gonna deal with it. That's why I loved the what was the tabletop game that Fantasy Flight did? What was the Space Marine one called?
Are you talking about Space Hulk?
No, the tabletop role playing game. They did one for Imperial Guard, they did one for Inquisitors, and they did one for Space Marines. Death Watch.
Right.
Yeah, Death Watch was great because it was just like, yeah, you and your 4 friends at the table are going to be dropped onto this planet, and good luck. Like, there might be an entire army of heretics here. It's fine. You got this. Like, you would make attacks against formations of like 1,000 people and roll to see how much damage you did.
Yeah, Space Marines are pretty badass.
Yeah,
I am reminded a bit of one of the 30k novels I read relatively recently, where I think it was the Alpha Legion. Just they took over an entire planet without sending a single Marine, just because of the threat of a single Marine coming down, and it just descended into chaos. And it's like, okay, we submit. Didn't even send a single. That's how scary Space Marines are. Yes, Dawn of War 2 is better. Just easy.
Going outside of the realm of strategy, I would love to see Kodar return to.
Oh yeah. If we're going beyond strategy games, like any of the Bioware games from 2003 to like 2014 or so, I'd love to see a remaster.
Like BioShock, that's BioWare, isn't it?
Nope, that is.
No? I'm just getting mixed up because it's both Bio. Never mind then.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not related at all. Yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to think what did BioWare make? KOTOR, yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, Dragon Age Origins. I mean, we're already getting Mass Effect Legendary Edition like next month, so.
Yeah,
Dragon Age Origins. We need more in the style.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins, not
because
the third.
Yeah, exactly.
Dragon Age Origins. Play a Dragon Age because I never got into it, and I've heard really good things about it. And same with Knights of the Old Republic. Never got into it.
You've never played KOTOR?
Nope.
Lambert, you have to turn in your nerd card now.
Yeah, I mean, like, graphically it is pretty rough by modern standards, so it would be great to see an HD remake of that. But yeah, like, the writing still holds up, the voice acting still holds up, especially if you've somehow managed not to be spoiled by what the big twist is. It's like, yeah.
Yes.
I know very little about it, but I like dragons.
Okay, Lambert, you need to do a stream series of you playing it blind.
That could be done. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do have some Paradox news to talk about.
Oh yeah,
we're like 30 minutes into the podcast.
That's what we do on this podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, generally. We got
A
CK3
plan.
Dietary. Right. This week is about all the new sound effects and music in Northern Lords, which I think is very, very well done.
Yeah, the new music in Northern Lords is just on another level. It's so good. It doesn't sound like that though.
Yeah, one of the things I found.
It might have sounded like that early in the process of making it, maybe.
That was more like the sound effects that you got in CK2 when you tortured somebody.
Hey!
Torturing him by not letting him have your computer mouse. It's
Exactly. That's
yeah.
totally what I meant.
He's now holding on to the one that he got from his grandma. So.
Yeah, one of the things I found really interesting about this is that he mentions, Gustav mentions that the pandemic actually kind of helped out a little bit because they were able to record like nature sounds and stuff with no like traffic or like airplanes or trains and stuff, which I hadn't really thought about. But yeah,
I'm sure there's other places where the pandemic has helped things along, but yeah, that's a pretty good example of it.
Yeah. But yeah, the music, they used a lot of Scandinavian traditional instruments. It's very reminiscent of like Wardruna or like Donheim, or a lot of these like new Nordic folk genre bands that have been popping up recently and are in basically every Viking TV show and video game now.
Well, you know what? Here's a theory. This is why they picked Northern Lords to go first. They didn't have to travel very far to record the audio.
True. Yeah. Yeah. It is. It makes a lot of sense for.
I would argue that a lake kind of sounds the same no matter where you record it.
No, the lakes in Sweden sound very different. No.
Yeah, Swedish lakes sound like Vikings.
You can hear the ghosts of the sacrifice, the people who are sacrificed at the bloat wailing from the depths.
So totally off topic, but if someone has any idea of how to cover the buttons on my computer tower, please tweet at us.
Got danger of spontaneous power loss going on. Yeah.
If they were truly dedicated to their craft, they would have traveled to Britain and Russia to record.
Yeah.
Don't be stealing our sounds. our lakes in Britain have noises purely for British people to listen to.
Isn't there some little stream in England that looks quite quiet and peaceful, but it's really like 6 feet deep and super, super swift or something?
Oh, I think I know which one you're on about.
Yeah, there was a Tom Scott video about it. Yeah.
It's less about how deep or swift it is and more because there's an undercurrent that will drag you under and then you die.
But what? And is that the same one where they've like tried to map it and nobody can figure out where it goes? Like,
yeah, because it goes like underground.
They
You'd probably be able to map it with like a drone or something, if you could retrieve the drone. I have no idea.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody's tried that. But
a swimming drone.
Yeah, just swim down there. It's fine. Stop being such a baby. Yeah. So yeah, the music and sound, Northern Lords, very, very good. I especially enjoy these event stingers that they have.
It's the Strid River Wharf, the Strid, whatever. It's called the Strid. Yeah.
That literally mean. I think that literally means like conflict, doesn't it? Is it in the old Danelaw area?
Oh,
hang on. I'm looking this up.
Where is River Strid? I don't know. I've got the coordinates, but I don't read coordinates.
Haven't you ever done GeoGuessr? You have to learn how to read coordinates.
I played some GeoGuessr today, and I failed so hard.
It is Old Norse. It is an Old Norse thing.
Yeah, Strid does sound very Norse.
Yeah. Sorry, not GeoGuessr. GeoCatch? Whatever it is, you get coordinates, and you go around and trying to find, and then leave like little notes or something.
Oh, yeah, no, I never played that one.
That's the fun game, yeah. There's another one now, too, it's like tourism, like virtualtourism.us or something, where it shows you a video of someone walking down a street, and you have to figure out where it is.
So
the River Strid is right north of Leeds in North Yorkshire. Yorkshire being the the region where York is, which used to be called Jorvik. So yeah, it's pretty much in the Danelaw, like smack bang in the Danelaw.
Yeah. Yes, Strid is war in Old Norse. Is how it's.
I mean, you
translated
go to
here.
war with that river, you're going to die.
Yeah, probably.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, don't try to fight the river. Don't try to fight the water. It's been tried.
The water will win.
A couple of times. Which was it? Caligula that declared war on the ocean. Which Roman emperor?
I mean, didn't he also invent Glitterhoof?
Yes.
No, No, I think you're thinking of the one that made his horse a senator.
Yeah.
Was that not Nero?
No, that was Caligula. I'm pretty sure.
Nero let Rome burn, I believe, right?
Wait. Okay. Which?
Horse senate was Caligula. Declaring war on the ocean, I think, was Nero then.
Declared war on the sea.
Speaking of glitter,
Nope, they were both Caligula. Never mind. Why
If it's something just
Nero?
absolutely unhinged, it was probably Caligula.
Yeah,
I mean, making a horse a senator was not unhinged. It was an insult to the other senators.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't I think my horse is so amazing, we'll make him a senator. It was, I think you are all so incompetent that my horse would do a better job.
It was a shit post. It was a very
the ultimate troll.
Speaking of trolling, and you know how we don't really have Glitterhoof at CK3. I mean, you're insane. You can name your warhorse Glitterhoof, but I almost never have loaded from one save game into another save game or something. I don't remember what happened, but something lagged when I was loading, and I noticed that there's the image of Glitterhoof on your save screen when you load in.
Really? Huh.
And apparently it was noticed early on. There's Reddit posts about it, but let's see if I can find an image to throw up on. Yeah.
Is this all part of an elaborate Glitterhoof ARG? We're gonna have to unlock Glitterhoof by diving into a lake in Sweden and pulling out a metal box.
Definitely not the lake, the river in England, though. Don't be diving in that one.
Yeah,
just bring it back again.
Yeah.
Wrap it around.
Don't go in there. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. Agamede is saying maybe it's like Error Dog in Horde War. I wonder if that's what it is. Or the
platypus in
Legionary. Yeah.
So if you're loading in your save game, and I had to do this by recording and then capturing it, but there's Glitterhoof right there at the bottom.
Alfrey is saying it is an arrow tracker.
Arrowhoof. Why not?
It's just...
I had to refresh the stream because it froze and it came up with a Godzilla versus King Kong trailer that just started with being underwater and Godzilla's coming towards you, and that triggered my thalassophobia immediately because I was not expecting to see Godzilla there.
I would have no idea what thalassophobia is if it wasn't for EU4 and their thassalocracy decision.
Yeah, it's particularly fear of deep water, particularly if I'm in a body of water I can't see the bottom. My brain is just convinced that the Loch Ness monster is 5 feet outside of my field of view, which is why I think Subnautica is one of the scariest games I've ever played. But I play it anyway because I like torturing myself. I don't know.
That's another game I've never played.
It's very good, very very good.
I have heard this.
Yeah, you know, it's a game we have all played though. Stellaris.
Yes. Which is chronologically after EU4, but we can mix it up.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I laid out an EU4.
I'm sorry, I
segue
forgot.
perfectly.
No, that's all right. I'm weirdly.
Rewind a second. Yeah. Thassalocracy in EU4. Boom. Let's go.
Yeah, so we got a very small dev diary and also a release date for
Leviathan. It's
going to be coming out on April 27th.
Which is 2 days before the Total War Rome comes out.
Oh wow, yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, so this will be, I think, the second longest that an EU4 expansion has been in development. Let me check on that. So we had 33 dev diaries so far. Emperor had 65. So it's nowhere near Emperor level, but I think it's the second largest.
It doesn't feel nearly as big as Emperor either.
Well, a lot of this stuff is free patch. Like, I feel like most of the stuff I'm excited about for this one is coming in the free patch.
Same.
And then the expansion features are just kind of like, yeah.
Of the expansion features, which one are you most happy about?
Let me pull up. I have the dev diary pulled up, but I don't have the announcement pulled up really quick. So
if Rose just like scrolls down a little bit, if she has a mouse, currently, salivaless.
I plugged in the wired mouse, and he hasn't shown interest in that. So.
Interesting.
I think monuments and pillaging capital, I think, are good additions. I'm looking forward to.
Oh, I guess the new totemism mechanics are part of the the DLC, so that I like playing in North America, so that'll be cool. Honestly, the new unit models are a big deal for me. I love getting new unit models, even though they don't change anything mechanically. Yeah, I mean, Regency Councils sound kind of cool. Specialized colonial nations are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is on the weaker side, I think, for the DLCs.
Yeah, like this patch is probably one of the best patches, but in terms of the DLC itself, in terms of my excitement level, I obviously haven't played it yet to see how all this is going to pan out, but my excitement level is not as high as it was for some previous expansions.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, the dev diary was just going over some new diplomatic options we're going to have. Basically, you'll be able to trade favors for ducats, manpower, sailors. You'll be able to do a little bit of like manipulative stuff, like you can reduce the opinion of a third party by 100 for 10 favors, which is pretty insane. I imagine that'll probably be tweaked in terms of the cost or the opinion modifier, because that would make it very easy to get other nations to go to war with each other. Returning your cores and forcing other countries to break alliances. You can also put a relative of your dynasty as their heir, which will be pretty powerful in terms of getting personal unions and stuff.
I think this is a little bit broken.
It does kind of seem that way. I mean, you don't like favors. You don't get a ton of them.
I mean, you kind of do. I mean, say you're a personal union hunting.
Mm-hmm.
You ally France, get up to 10 favors, and then you call them to war against. It doesn't even matter. You give them all the land. They now love the shit out of you, and you have tons and tons. You could get 200 favors in one war easily doing this.
Yeah, true.
Spend 90 of those, and now they are your heir is of their dynasty. You get that personal union. All the land you gave to France is irrelevant because it's your personal union. It's your bloody land.
It might make sense to say that you have to have a certain level of trust to use some of the more powerful ones, maybe. Like, you have to have 90 trust in order
I'd be totally cool with that.
So we do have some people commenting in chat about the price. What do you two think of that?
$20.
I didn't actually think of the price. That's big for a DLC.
If you think about the fact that the unit packs used to be separate, that sounds about right. Like, if we're getting new unit models and new music included in that, it sounds okay, honestly. Because I'd say for the features themselves, I'd expect it to be more like a $10 to $15 DLC. But the fact that we're getting we're getting a ton of new unit models and stuff in here. That sounds fairly reasonable.
I think they probably should have kept it separate, having the unit models and music separate.
I would go with that.
It'd be nice to have.
Not everyone. Really cares, especially because that's how they've been doing it. It's one thing with like CK3 where they started putting it all together in one single flavor pack, but in EU4 it's always been separate. So
well, I think part of the reason they did it is it was a nightmare to look at the DLC list for EU4.
Well, it's already a nightmare.
This ain't
it's
helping.
too late to fix it now.
Far too late.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have the option, maybe.
Well,
I
put out
think
two
EU4
versions
is
of
definitely struggling under the bloat.
Yeah, it for sure is. That's why I want them to make it EU5.
That's why I'm pretty sure it'll be EU5 they announce in May.
Right.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I did actually see relatively recently that somebody had posted on like Game Leaks Reddit about the Paradox thing. It was like a couple of months ago they posted on there. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, I don't know. Rose, were you there for the episode where we showed the Johan tweet where? Because that's what made me think it's not EU5 is that Johan went on Twitter and specifically said it's a PDS game, it's not a Tinto game, and I think Tinto is probably working on EU5. So that's
I just sent a link there.
That's the main reason I changed my mind about thinking they were going to announce EU5.
Well, and you know what? The fact that they have Leviathan coming out a month before PDXCon, you're right. It's probably not EU5.
So, there's absolutely zero evidence or any sources whatsoever. But a month ago, somebody posted on Gaming Leaks and Rumors, Paradox is working on a new grand strategy game. That's obvious. The game will be set in the early modern period till the Great War. It will have a pop system similar to Vicky 2. It will have an economic system, which is a combination of Vicky 2 and EU4. It will have some power mechanisms. It will feature factories late game and manufactories early game, and it will release in late 2022. There's nothing here that's kind of outlandish. This is the only post this person has ever made.
Yeah, I mean, it says it's the tag says no source. They didn't comment to elaborate on where they got this information from, and this all seems like stuff you could just guess. Like if you were just making up a rumor. Also, late 2022 seems too far out. That's the part that actually really makes me think that if it is real, I don't think that they're talking about what's going to be announced this year. Because if you think about announcing something, well, I guess late 2022 could technically be like fall 2022. But it was like, wasn't it about a year between when CK3 got announced and when it came out?
Well, because it was announced at PDXCon, which was like the second week of October, second weekend?
Yeah.
I was still in the first trimester with this little guy.
Yeah, and Paradox has said that they don't want to make the mistake they did with Rune Master, which was announcing it like way before it was ready and then ending up canceling it. So I don't think they're going to announce anything that's like a lot more than a year away.
I've heard that for Hearts of Iron as well, that they would radically have changed the game if they hadn't already announced it.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is. It's just something I keep hearing.
Yeah, I would say I'm very suspect of this, but I mean,
so it could be Vicky 3 they're announcing in May.
It could be. It definitely could be.
I'd be happy with either Vic 3 or EU5. I mean, just both. Can we have both? Maybe both.
Yeah.
Both works.
But see, if they both come out at the same time, you don't have enough time to play them both and play Imperator too.
Believe me, I'll find the time. There is always enough time.
I'm kind of leaning towards Victoria 3 or something set in the Victoria 3 time period. I think
we'll get Bismarck.
If they just do it and call it Bismarck, I don't see it's not going to happen purely because one, the only reason to do it for is we didn't make Vicky 3.
Yeah,
but it's effectively Vicky 3, and two, they're giving up on brand recognition.
Right. Like
There's
Victoria
not
3.
a hope in hell it's going to be called Bismarck.
Victoria 3 has become such a meme at this point that, like, yeah, I think they would be doing themselves a financial disservice.
3 on it. They'll relabel it as Victoria: The Grand Adventure. I don't know, something like that.
I mean, if it were me, I would just be a total troll and call it Victoria 4. Be like, Victoria 3, we already made it. We didn't release it. This is Victoria 4. You don't get to see Victoria 3.
Victoria 2 Part 2.
Yeah, Victoria. It's like Final Fantasy X 2. It's Victoria 2. Yeah.
What they did with Half-Life. Like, wasn't it Half-Life 2.5, or it was like something?
Victoria 2 Episode 1. It's going to be released as a trilogy. That's the one. The first one is just from the end of the Napoleonic Wars up to, like, I don't know, like 1850 something, and then, like, the second episode comes out 6 months after that, and then the Great War is the big finale.
One thing I hadn't really thought would be a thing, but might be maybe a smaller scale, like not over that huge period of time. Maybe it could be something like a Napoleonic game where you can play as all of the Napoleonic war powers, and you've got
that's just called
20
March of the
years. Yeah, but like good.
I liked March of the Eagles. I mean, you're basically describing March of the Eagles too.
Yeah, I kind of am, aren't I? All right, well but like maybe like the 30 Years War then.
Rome, Europa Universalis, Rome remodeled.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very different now, but I mean, sure.
They could just do. It would technically be March of the Eagles too, but they call it Napoleon.
Yeah.
No, I actually prefer March of the Eagles. It just sounds better. It doesn't have him on it.
What if
probably a wise idea not to put controversial figures on the box.
What if they called it Waterloo?
Is Napoleon still
Trafalgar
controversial?
Sounds better.
Is Napoleon still controversial though? Like,
yeah. I mean, the fact that like we can disagree on whether he was a garbage human being or not is pretty, controversy.
I would consider most political leaders from like the dawn of city-states in ancient Sumeria up to today to be garbage human beings.
I mean,
I just don't think Napoleon is particularly controversial this many years after he died, but I live in the US, so I don't know if
controversial is the correct
name
word.
Your pig Napoleon in France.
That's just fucking. I'm gonna name my own pig Napoleon. The one that's in the frying pan.
We did have one more dev diary this week from Stellaris, which was sort of about the. It's another one of those how the sausage is made dev diaries, as opposed to a feature dev diary talking about how all the different parts of Nemesis were developed and balanced, and the challenges related to that. He did specifically say, and this is Greg Wolf on the forums, that they had considered doing multiple paths for Become the Crisis, which I discussed wishing they had done, but they ended up realizing that they only had time to do one really good one or like a few like maybe kind of half-assed ones. Which is, understandable, but like I kind of still want them to like, in a 0.1 patch or something or a 0.2 patch, maybe add some more in the future. I would even pay for like a small story pack that just adds more crisis scenarios.
I would like to, interjecting and pointing out to chat. No, Rosebud did not discover cables. Rosebud discovered my lipstick tube. It's fine.
Yeah.
I would like to see them go back and retouch on some of the race packs for Stellaris, like plantoids, and give them mechanical flavor like lithoids have.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
The plantoids.
Yeah, they should be mechanically different, because right now plantoids, doesn't matter that they're made of plant.
Plants.
Yeah, I would like
it
to be
doesn't
able to
matter.
pick a photosynthetic trait or something like that. Yeah, that would be
Instead
cool.
of making your ships out of alloys, or instead of turning minerals into alloys, you turn food into alloys. Like, that would be really cool and flavorful and different and encourage different play styles. But like, no, it's just you're just a green humanoid.
And I mean, the fact that we didn't have alloys when plantoids came out makes it makes a lot of sense and be easy to explain why they're adding it now. And it may encourage people to go back and buy plantoids who didn't. Because it's really cosmetic.
The Protoss from StarCraft are canonically photosynthetic, so you wouldn't even need to be a plantoid to have that trait. That would just be a cool alternate way to play, I think. But
Different ways to play would be nice.
Yeah.
We also have the release date for Nemesis on the 15th.
All right. Yep. So
that came. I think we mentioned it last week. I don't know.
I wasn't here.
Did. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know I don't remember which day last week they actually announced it, but
or was the 18th?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Usually Stellaris news comes out Thursdays, which is the day after we record, so it's almost a week old by the time we actually talk about it. So
it was at the Insider. Yeah.
It just so happens that Wednesday is like the one day that works for all of us to record consistently, so Stellaris ends up getting shunted into the week after usually. But,
and clearly Stellaris needs to fix its schedule.
Yeah.
Yes. It should come out.
Velargood's asking, is the stream frozen for anyone else? I've been having to refresh the page every few minutes. I think it's a Twitch issue. But yeah, just if you refreshed it, it should be fine.
We also see the new Stellaris achievements coming.
Right. Yeah.
Often the new achievements get added before the release. Don't know whether it's an accident or not, but we can see them now.
Deliberate accident, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got big red button, destroy the galaxy. I'm assuming this is related to the Aetherophasatic engine, probably. So I'm curious if you're just going to deploy it and it's going to be like, congratulations, everyone's dead, you win, or if there's more to it than that. I would hope it doesn't.
The best one though. With thunderous applause, become the Galactic Emperor, and it's a picture
Jeff
of
Palpatine.
Jeff Palpatine,
the best Jeff so far.
Yeah, no, the only Jeff. Let's be fair. No, I love that. That's just amazing. I don't have any Stellaris achievements, but I love that one.
You're just gonna have to play just to get that one and only that one.
God, that would be an achievement in itself. Getting nothing else.
Yeah.
Is that even possible?
You can do it, Lambert.
I don't think that's possible.
Well, the thing is, if you messed up, you would have to create a new Steam account and request all of the DLC again from PR.
So I cannot play this on stream because it'll mute it, and who knows how it would work being uploaded to YouTube and everything. But there's Jeff. If you want to check out the tweet, he is singing that he will not let anyone else be Emperor or the Nemesis but him.
The most disturbing thing about this for me is that the machine learning algorithms seem to think that his neck was his mouth. Because his mouth doesn't really move. It's just like his waddle thing there kind of wiggles up and down. So
it's awful.
Princessity is begging us to stop.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was cool once, but it's so much. It's so much.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
I had some decent songs. I'd be happier. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That all of the songs that they have on the shit posts. That's the whole point. Interestingly, they have an achievement for Vivisect an Alien, which I'm assuming probably has to do with the new First Contact.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you dissect one of your enemy's species during that whole cloak and dagger first contact phase.
I do like the name of it. They come in pieces. Like, I'll tip my hat to that one. That's all right.
Shoot to kill. Start a full-fledged first contact war before communications have been fully established.
Honestly,
Nice.
I would have that achievement in Stellaris right now. Straight up. Because, you know, when you first meet another Empire, you can see that it's an Empire because you recognize the ship set of their science ship. I have deliberately gone and shot it down before they can scan a place. That would be this. Starting a full war before, you know, getting communications with them.
We also have
They
the
have-
all-seeing eye. Have an intel level of 100 on 5 different empires simultaneously.
And they've created an achievement based on one of my favorite TV shows, Burn Notice, for disavowing knowledge of an asset during an operation. So, you know, when you're coming into contact with a new empire for the first time, you have to think about what are their ethics. You know, I'm trying to do a Michael Weston soliloquy monologue for Stellaris. I haven't watched
American things.
I used to be able to do like his exact tone and cadence really well, but it's been so long since I watched that show.
So
Yeah, I'll be naming all of my agents Chuck Findlay in honor of this achievement.
So to go with thunderous applause, they also have Modern Cincinnatus, which is a galactic custodian. Defeat the endgame crisis and then end the title rather than finishing your turn.
Which this achievement should just be called I'm boring. So I'm boring and I want this campaign to be boring. No. Yeah. So
six Emperor Tyrannus as well when you manage to defeat the Emperor.
And we
Yes.
have Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Blorg. Complete at least
What
10
is the
distinct
original
operations
of
during
that?
the game.
Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. What was the final word on that? I know it. I know it. What is it? Yeah.
Being good is not boring. Yes, it is. What are you talking about? Stellaris is always better when you play as a total asshole. Yeah. So, Rothbert 1798 seems to be like. Oh, I thought he was making a Burn Notice joke too. I was like, somebody got it. At least somebody got it.
But no,
it's a Futurama reference. Never mind.
And then we also have We Come in Peace. Complete a mutually friendly first contact with an emperor with no negative incidents.
Oh no, that's different on Steam. That's called We Come in. They Come in. No wait, no, you're right. Never mind.
Only Lambert would get We Come in Peace and They Come in Pieces mixed up. Okay.
Look, I'm just blanking. Look, anytime that there's a friendly option, obviously I'm going to just bypass it in my brain.
We gotta add that to the NoCB drinking game. Is if Lambert starts to get really up in arms about something and then realizes he was wrong.
I wasn't up in arms. I'm just like, whatever.
Alfred would like to know, Lambert, if you need new glasses.
I mean, I have glasses. I just haven't worn them in 10 years.
Yeah, there's the problem.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to play this pretty soon. Just really, really hoping that there's a way either that the AI will do it on their own or that I can turn on some kind of setting or mod that makes it so the Galactic Empire will happen without me having to force it to happen so that I can have my little rebellion. That's what I want. So, yeah. I also want an option to force the War in Heaven to happen in every game if I turn it on.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I've only ever had the War in Heaven one time, and it was in a multiplayer game. And by the time it fired, the game was so awfully laggy that we quit.
Well, no, it also fired when we did the Cold War last year?
Yep. Nope. I do recall that happened as well.
Oh, and they're doing another Cold War event too. Yeah.
Start on April 10th and 11th.
I don't know if you're allowed to say, but are either of you going to?
I can confirm that I am not in it.
I'm confirmed also that I am not in it.
Okay. So
it feels like it's going to be big YouTubers rather than us little people.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's
So.
A-Spec and Templin Institute are the two people
Oh,
I've met
okay.
so
So
far.
there's some cool people in there. It's not gonna be. Yeah.
They're going to be cool people.
I was about to say, so
Not me.
there's no, we're not in it, so it's no cool people, but yeah, A-Spec and Templin Institute are cool. Yeah. No, we're still indie. We're still underground. We're like hipster. We're like, we're playing in basements underneath like an abandoned fire station. Like guitars made of tape. It's that's how punk rock we are.
Yeah, we actually light the Berlin venue for PDXCon. That's how underground we are.
Yeah.
Here's how underground I am. When I get a YouTube video that hits 1,000 views, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. Especially if it's not the start of a series. If it's the first video in a series, it's not that hard to hit 1,000. But like to get people to continue watching after the first 2 episodes is always the tricky part.
I don't really do series anymore, though. I tend to do standalone videos.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even if they are the same playthrough, they'll still.
Yeah, I mean the YouTube algorithm hates long form Let's Plays at this point, so it's it's kind of.
I got to episode 32 on one of my series, and then even if I go on my own channel, on like viewer subscriber, I can't see anything after that until episode 40.
Yeah,
because YouTube just like, no, I'm not going to show this.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So. Yeah, if you like long-form Let's Play content, you pretty much have to just go to the playlist and keep refreshing that playlist page to see if there's new episodes, because YouTube sure as hell isn't going to tell you.
Oh, and that also requires the creator to actively put them in now, because auto-add to playlist has been killed. Yeah. Thanks, Google, you piece of shit.
No, I've seriously thought about just experimenting with uploading entire streams as like a single video to YouTube. Just like I play like Crusader Kings for 3 hours, I'm just gonna post the whole thing. And
that's what some big YouTubers that also stream on Twitch. They'll make a second channel that's like more James Turner, more Little Simsy, whatever, and then they just upload their streams.
Yeah,
all I do is now I stream and then I cut the streams up and put them on the channel. It's just easier.
Yeah. Yep. Well, speaking of channels, what kind of streams are being cut up and put on your channel right now, Lambert?
Well, yesterday I did 2 streams. The first one was while my kid was at daycare, and I got how many was it? Like 3 different achievements. In Imperator, and then I did another stream later on, and I got Pentacontatia, and I got like 5 achievements yesterday that I hadn't gotten already. So
nice.
That's what I've been streaming, achievement runs, and those will be on the channel soonish enough. More Imperator, more CK3. I'll probably do some. I don't know if I'll do a series on Stellaris because that always does like shit on my channel, but I'll probably do some EU4 and just stuff. It's good.
Yeah, it seems like the people who follow historical Let's Plays are generally like a lot of them are not the same people who are into Stellaris and vice versa.
Yeah.
Historical stuff tends to do a lot better for me than Stellaris content, but then I know people who are doing exclusively Stellaris that just do gangbusters with Stellaris, so I think it's a little bit of a different audience.
I will say as well, Crusader Kings 3 not doing so well anymore for me. Like,
interestingly,
it's doing really well.
Yeah, it's
I have kind of gotten
a
vibe from the community that the CK3 is not as the honeymoon period is over. Let's say.
Right.
That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Rose, what have you been up to lately?
Streaming Crusader Kings 3, grabbing all those Northern Lord achievements. And
what's the weirdest place you've done a Varangian adventure to so far?
I mean, to get the one where you have to get an island in the Indian Ocean, we grabbed we didn't grab Socotra for the Varangian adventure. We grabbed the middle of Egypt, and then we went down and grabbed Socotra.
Nice.
But we just grabbed the middle of Egypt. You know, we just had a river. We didn't need to grab the coastline.
Just plop down right in the middle of the Nile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not as deadly as the Strid.
No.
That's on the Nile's tourism page. Not as deadly as the Strid.
Though it will, it does have hippos, which kill more humans than sharks every year.
True. But
Possibly
also
more deadly than the Strid.
Floods reliably, which is one of the main reasons Egypt was able to thrive. Because a lot of rivers don't flood reliably.
Yeah.
So you might have a year where...
reason, like...
Yeah.
The one, like capital T.
Any other river, it's like rolling a die, and maybe it flood this year and your crops will die, or maybe it'll flood at a really bad time and wash away your entire village.
I think
the Nile's just like, all right, it's going to flood right at this point, and then right at this point, and then right at this point, and we can plan around.
Ganges as well was one that flooded reliably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What have you been doing?
I've been doing some CK3 Northern Lords on a roleplay heavy stream on Lore Sworn Order, as well as some more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. In CK3, I made a Norwegian character who is Sigrun Ulfsdottir. People who have known my stuff for a very long time will remember that I did a Lords of the North AAR in CK2 on PC Gamer way back a long time ago that I never ended up getting to finish, where my character Thorolf was known as the Wolf in the West. So this is an alternate universe where Ulfsdottir is the daughter of the Wolf in the West, and she is going to set up... I believe we're going to make a kingdom on the Indus is kind of the ultimate plan. And I'm actually writing some bespoke mods to use in this playthrough that's going to add like an Indo-Norse melting pot culture event with some new like men-at-arms and stuff that kind of represent the adaptation of the North Germanic heavy infantry into sort of the Indian subcontinent. So it's going to be fun times. Very much thinking about, okay, who is this character? What are their motivations? What is life like for people in this kingdom? Type of stuff. So, I agree, Valorgain. We should have more melting pots. We should, in fact, have dynamic cultural melting pots as a base mechanic. That would be awesome. Yeah.
And if there isn't a name for it, like generally, then just every culture could have a. I don't even know what the word for it would be, but like for English, it could be Anglo, and then it'd be Anglo-French.
Like
I don't know what the word Anglo is, like how to describe that word, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah, just a prefix. Yeah, it would be
Germano-Polish.
Mm-hmm. That one might be a little bit controversial, but
okay. You know what? Franco-Iberian.
There you go. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
It's taken out of context. God damn it.
Yeah, I streamed modding the week before last week, Princessity. This most recent Sunday, I actually played with the mod. So yeah.
Starting soon as well, I should say, I will be taking part in a streamed D&D game, starting not this Monday coming up, but the Monday after it. With Mordred Viking is going to be a part of it as well. And
that's awesome.
DM'd by Midgeman, who we've had him on the stream as well. I'm really looking forward to that. And
I've seen some of his like world building stuff. He seems like he's very, very good.
Yeah, he's built this world for like over a year.
Nice.
Like I'm really looking forward to it. So that'll be out. Not this Monday, Monday after.
We should do a like a one shot NoCB tabletop session sometime where we're all like, I don't know.
But you don't have any right to attack him.
Historical, some sort of historically based thing would be interesting.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Follow the podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast if you want to support us. We have a link tree in the chat right now that will give you links to all of the different places you can find us. And we'll be back here sometime next week. Well, not sometime, same time next week.
Sometime,
more Grand
same
Strat.
time. It's only a vowel difference.
Go play Disco Elysium Final Cut. It's one of the best RPGs ever.
Something else I need to play.
Yeah. Just started a new game with that. Having a lot of fun. Anyway, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming by.
Bye, guys.